took me off guard. Like, I can't even explain it. So thank you guys all for coming, first of all. And this isn't my first time to India. I've been to India like 20 times. Because my previous business, this is my third business, I trained the defense force here, how to rescue people out of collapsed buildings. So I was here 20 times over that period. So it's kind of like a second home to me a little bit, but every single time I come, I feel so welcome. And this has been an amazing event for me. I would say, this is not an exaggeration, top 3 I've ever attended. So thank you for having me. So with that said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about the presentation today. First of all, let me get I want responses from everybody because that's how I give you guys information. So it's a two-way street. I'm going to give you as much as I can. I'm an open book, but I need some reinforcement as well from you. So as we go through, I'm an open book. Okay, we're going to do some Q&A at the end, but everything I have, you're going to have it at the end of this presentation. Okay? All right, now, with that said, a show of hands, how many people here use AI every single day or pretty regularly? Pretty good amount. A few years ago, half of you, or more than that, wouldn't have raised your hand, right? So we're getting there. GoHighLevel definitely is blowing me away as well. Their AI, 2 years ago to today, night and day. Just even the voice segment alone, night and day. 2 years ago, we weren't booking to calendars on the calls. We had to do a link. Remember that? Now we're booking on the calls. It's going to be, I was talking to Varun the other night, last night actually. I don't even want to know what it's going to look like in a year from now. It's going to be crazy, right? It's going to be a great ride for everyone here. So with that said, the next question is, who here, well, you already told me you use AI almost every day, right? Who here likes to make money with AI? Why isn't everyone raising their hand?
Making money.
That's crazy.
Making money.
I like using AI for fun things, but I really want to make money with AI. And it would make me the happiest guy in this room to show you how to make money with AI. Okay? Because that's why everyone's here, right? Yes? Yes. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to show you what works, what I found works. You can take one item or you can take all these items and you can adapt it to your needs, and then you can go ahead and deploy it for your clients. I'm going to show you a few strategies, one that works for me and has worked for a lot of clients. I did a presentation, not this one, in Level Up. 2 days later, a gentleman in that room sent me an email. He said, I did exactly what you said, $10,000 a month setup and $5,000 a month. Wow. He's done multiple since then. Exactly what I'm going to show you. Very similar, okay? Because, well, I'll talk about that later, but basically, I'm always improving. It's always an improvement. Everything I do will never be done. And I just have to get that in my head. I know there's probably a lot of perfectionists here, that they want everything perfect, right? But at the end of the day, you'll never be done and it'll never be perfect. Right? Why? AI is changing every day, GoHighLevel is changing every day, the landscape is changing every day. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. First thing that's very important, $126,000 question. Do you realize this is what it costs a small business if they don't answer their phone and they're missing leads? So we're going to show you how to fix that and how to position it and how to make money with it. I get a lot of questions on how to price it. You know, I've heard a lot of pricing things over the last couple of days. I pay attention. But basically, 85% of the callers that don't reach you will never call you back. So that's huge. I'm in Florida. I'm in Palm Beach, Florida. It's hot there, just like India. Same climate, basically. If my AC goes out and I start going through and I start calling somebody that, you know, to get my AC fixed, the first one doesn't answer. How long does it take me to call the second one? Because my wife is like, get the AC fixed. I need the AC fixed, right? So how long does it take me to call number 2? It probably takes me about 1 second, right? And I'm calling number 2. If they don't answer, guess what? Who I'm calling next? Number 3, right? And down the line. So with that said, it's important to be number 1 and answer the phone. Everyone agree with that? It's costing $126,000 on average. Depending on the niche, you know, if you're a doctor, it's $850 for one missed call, roundabout. Okay? I mean, that's one customer. Think about that. So with that said, we have to answer the phone. We need to be available, and we need to respond to these people immediately. however you do that. We're going to talk about what works. All right, next thing. Here's the number one mistake that I've seen over the last 3 years, okay? I'm here because, first of all, let me tell you how I got here. How about that? So I had a business. I worked for the fire department. I had 30 years in the fire department. I'm going to tell the story very quickly. From there, I had a business where I told you I trained people in class buildings. That's why I was in India, trained all over the world. And we had 200 employees. I'm still working in the fire department full time. And then basically, I had to retire at 48 because I did 30 years. Retire, that's it. You don't have a choice. So I sat home for 6 months. My wife said, "You got to get out of here. You're driving me crazy." So I said, "All right, I'm going to do something." I started a marine business. We were doing IT on mega yachts for celebrities. Okay. So the reason I bring this up is, guess what? I was in this same category. I wasn't responding to my customers. I would let them come in, pay their invoice, they leave us a review probably, and then guess what? The next time I'd see them is when they walked in the door. Maybe that's 2 years later. Never talk to them. So I got involved in GoHighLevel. I said, I'm going to automate my marine business because I'm a mess, right? Probably like a lot of the clients that you're going to see. And then basically from there, I said, you know what, I can do this for other marine businesses. And then they said, listen, why stop there? I can do it for all businesses. And here I am today. So I gifted my marine business to my employees, and they're running that now because I really enjoy what I do, and I do this full time. But I was doing exactly what you see on this slide, okay? I was building out the system, trying to get it perfect, and then guess what? Poor data. I don't have really great data because I think in my head things should be a certain way. So I build this all out. I want to make it ultra perfect. Procrastinate to launch it, then it's a little messy, have to redo what I did. So I'm telling you, the best bet is to get it out there as quickly as you can, let your customers give you real data and feedback, and then you could revise it very quickly and have a product that you'll be proud of, and you'll be able to repeat that cycle every single time. The other thing I did, when I first opened GoHighLevel for the very first time, I'm sure everyone in this room was the same way. Your eyes are wide open. You're like, what did I just get into? I didn't even know where to go. I was asking the most silly questions on the Facebook group. I didn't know what the heck was going on, okay? So don't feel bad if you're in that position. One thing, and I'm not here to, first of all, I'm not selling anything, okay? I'm not here to sell anyone anything. I'm here to give it to you for free. That's number one. But I will tell you, I'm going to put a plug in for the admin program. I know there's a few admins here. That is a savior. If you have the time to do it, I would suggest it. Rather than going to YouTube and Face, all these groups and all that, do the admin program. It's a very structured program. At the end of that, you're going to take a written exam and a practical exam. Are you going to know everything there is to know about GoHighLevel when you're done with that? Absolutely not. But you're going to have a good baseline to be able to navigate the platform. Okay? To me, it was accountability. So it's $97 to get into the admin program. If you elect to stay after your certification, they'll put you in the directory, and I get about 8 leads a month or so from that directory. Okay, I got a few last night. Okay? So that's something to think about. It was good for me. It held my feet to the fire, and I was very structured, and it forced me to do this. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Something to think about, not required, but it may be your shortcut to learning this platform. Okay? So with that said, like I mentioned, the best part here is to sell it, to deploy it, or to build it and then deploy it. Totally opposite of what you've probably heard. You want to build it perfectly, then mess around with it, mess around, look at other stuff. That's all you're doing is procrastinating, and it's costing you money. All right? So build your offer. Your offer is not permanent. There's no such thing as a permanent offer, right? I mean, I change my offers all the time, and that's really good because things, like I said, things change, right? So that is a viable option for everyone in this room. Okay, so like I mentioned, I want you guys to develop your offer. I've come in contact with people at these conferences, not this one. I was at another conference, it wasn't a GoHighLevel event. A gentleman told me he's working on his offer for 8 years. Wow. I almost fell over. I'm like, it's time to get it. Let's go, get it out there. And he was very apprehensive. So I don't want you to be one of those. I want you to develop your offer. It's always changeable. It's not a tattoo. You can change it. It's okay. And then with that, you're going to develop other offers and better and get it better. Okay, that's what I want to see. Now, the next thing is, I want you guys to position yourself when you're dealing with these businesses. I want you to position yourself, hey, listen, you're not going in there as a sales guy. Okay? You're going in there to fix a specific problem that they have, and you're going to position yourself as a doctor. Why do we want to position ourselves as a doctor and not a vendor? First of all, I don't know about you guys, I mean, everyone here, a lot of people in here own their own business. It's not the highlight of my day when vendors come walking in. When I had that marine business, it was an all day. People are trying to sell me things, walking in all day long. So just being a salesman or a vendor is a hard spot to be in, okay? But if you're a doctor, how hard is it to get in the doctor when you have a problem? It's very hard, right? The doctor's got a waiting list. So position yourself as a doctor. You're going to identify their problem, and then guess what? How much does a doctor make compared to a sales guy? If you're a heart surgeon in India compared to a guy that's selling XYZ, I think you're going to be better off as a doctor, right? Yeah. But you're going to be a doctor and you're going to fix their business, all right? So that's the way you got to go in. You're there to fix a specific issue or specific problem. Maybe they're not answering calls. Maybe they're not getting the leads that they need. That's all up to you, all right? In the documents that I gave you specific ways, and I'm going to talk about how to get clients, right? Everyone here wants clients, right? There's a lot of ways to get clients, a lot of ways. First of all, you're not limited by India alone. Because when I first started this, I was blown away. I was like, I guess I'm just going to sell in the US. Probably like a lot of people in this room, they're probably like, I'm just going to sell to everyone in India. But there really is no border. Because I'm selling to people in Australia, believe it or not, India, believe it or not, UK. There's really no portion of this earth that we're not selling to. So the other thing is, one of the reasons I'm even here on this stage today and giving you everything I have is because I don't feel anyone in this room is a competitor. In my marine business, everyone I treated as a competitor. I was a brick and mortar. I'm competing against the person next door. Nobody in this room is a competitor. So I would be free to share everything I have with you. There's more customers in this world than you can handle. I'll tell you that. And all you have to do is get out there and talk to them. Okay? So everything I have is open book. I appreciate that. Everything I have is open book, and I'm willing to share it. You saw on that reel that I had, it said, he created 100 voice or AI agents. That's 100% true. It's probably more than that. But a lot of them weren't for me, because I had calls from other agencies, and we were building for other agencies, which I never thought I would do, because I said, these guys are competitors at first. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's really no competition. There's plenty of work for everyone to go around, all right? So with that said, I guarantee, I want to show of hands real quick. Please raise your hand for one of these two. How many people in here like to build the stuff? Like to be the behind the scenes person and build it? Fair amount. I kind of expected that. How many people in here just want to sell it and they don't want to build it? If we had a builder and seller dating app, I'd like to get you guys together, huh? That would be cool, right? Yeah. So with that said, there's a lot of that goes on. I happen to be able to sell it, which I don't like to do, but I like to build it as well. I know how to sell it because I know how to talk to people, because I've had a few businesses. I'm used to talking to customers. I'm really awful at pricing because I undervalue myself. So there's people in this room I guarantee I can learn from because they're professional salespeople. So with that said, you don't have to do both if you don't want to. You can outsource your fulfillment, or you can get somebody to sell for you. And I'm not here to plug another portion of GoHighLevel. I'll bring it up. But GoHighLevel has in the platform for every single agency, you should be setting up your affiliate program in that agency. That's automatic sales for you. Okay? A lot of times it gets confused with the GoHighLevel affiliate program, which if you're clicking on a link and sign up for a piece of software, I suggest that you do that as well. Because a lot of revenue sources make up a lot of money, and they can offset your expenses at minimum. Okay? So that's important to look at, those two. All right. The first thing I want to speak about is, I know everyone wants to ask these questions. How do we get clients? What's the procedure for getting clients? Well, I will tell you, I think Chris said it, hey, the first client's probably in your phone. I do things a little bit different, but along the same lines, is your first client is probably in your inner circle, in your network, okay? Why would we do that? Well, we would do that because they already know you. They probably trust you already, and it's going to be much easier to sell than going up to strangers, right? So they may be in your inner circle, or perhaps you've come across them and you know them very well. So with that said, what I would suggest for anyone getting started, and this works because I've done it 100 times already, is have a special tier when you're first getting started, and I'm going to give a sample offer for you. Give that at a deep discount, all right? So a discount on the setup and a discount on the monthly, all right? And we're going to talk about pricing in a few moments. But the purpose of that is to get your first 3 or 4 clients. Guess what? Then it's going to be the next tier of pricing. All you're doing is offsetting your high level and your expenses at that point. That's it. But guess what? People are paying you and you're learning. So they're paying you to learn, right? That's a good thing. That's number one. But also, with that said, it's not a freebie for that client as well, because you reach out to them and you say, listen, I'm giving you a special offer here. I'm not doing this for everyone. I want video and written testimonials. GoHighLevel has a video testimonial piece in there as well, a feature that you can do video testimonials. And obviously, you can get written reviews as well, okay? So those are some features that I would suggest you look at. The next phase of that sales machine or getting leads would be, and I'm going to tell you how I like to do it, and it's worked for a lot of people I come in contact with in our group and in our ecosystem, is you're going to reach out to people, and you're not going to try to sell them. Maybe it's your distant network. You know them from church. You know, maybe you're social. You know, you speak with them socially. But instead of asking them, hey, I just launched this AI business. I'd like you to take a look at it for your business. Don't do that. You know why? Because right off the get-go, they're like a little bit defensive, even though you're friends with them and they want to be like nice. The better way would be approach them and say, hey, I just started this AI business. You have 5 or 6 people that you know that you could recommend me to that you think would be a good fit for me. Because now they're a helper. And that works very well. Then from there, you're going to have to expand. And basically, at that point, if you're going to go into cold leads, you know, there's a lot of ways to do it. Ads, you know, emails. It's a numbers game, okay? And at that point, I would suggest reaching out to 20 leads per week. And based on that, you'll probably get 1. Hopefully, everyone in this room is not afraid by the word no. Because you got to get yourself mentally prepared for that, okay? If they say no, that's okay. Somebody's going to say yes. But if you're seeing no for weeks and weeks, maybe it's time to look at a little something different internally, okay? So don't be afraid about the word no. Get used to it. It's going to be more no's than there is yeses, but you're going to get yeses, and then that yes hopefully will get you 2 more yeses. And then it's a machine after that, you'll do very well, all right? So once we say, okay, the next thing is somebody says, yeah, you know what, guys, I'm interested in this, what you're offering me. What we like to do is I like to do a 10-minute discovery call for that person or business. And the purpose of that call is not to talk about, you know, what they're doing for biz, all of that. It's only determine if they're a good fit or not. That's it. Don't waste an hour of your day doing an hour call, and then in the first 5 minutes, you know, you feel that like this isn't going to work. You know, this is really not good, and you just wasted an hour of your day because they're going to stay on the call for the whole hour. That's just how it works. Okay. So schedule them for a 10-minute discovery call. See if it's a good fit. If it's a good fit, you say, listen, I think we're a great fit for you, and I think we can do good things for you. I'm going to do a 1-hour call with you, and that's where we're going to jump into this, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, and we're going to determine how we're going to help you in the best path forward. The discovery call, if they're not a good fit, I just don't say, hey, listen, we're not a good fit, I'll talk to you later. I said, listen, we're really not a good fit here, but I'm going to find somebody I'm going to recommend somebody that may be. And then you recommend them to somebody else that may be a good fit. They're happy with that. You know, they're not just going to go, oh, you don't want to work with me? No. If you provide them a solution, tell them, listen, I think somebody else would be better for you, they're usually pretty happy with that. Now, the next thing that I feel is very important is we do a business audit. It's an AI audit, okay? There's a couple of ways to do this audit. I gave you, in the assets I've given you the audit, the questions, a workbook, a sheet to fill out. You can modify that. Everything I give you is totally modifiable. You can do whatever you want. Maybe those questions don't fit for what you like to do. Change it, but at least it gets you 90 to 95% there. Some people it's 100% there. That's fine. But you're going to have all of that in the assets, okay? That audit is is designed to determine the pain points or deficiencies amongst 5 different pillars, what I call pillars. Okay? So are they answering calls? That's one example. I'm going to get into that in a couple of minutes. But those are the pillars, and that audit serves that. Now, you could do this a few different ways. You could say, I'm going to charge these people for this audit. I'm going to say, listen, it's $300. You're paying me. I'm going to do the audit. I'm going to give you the results. You could say, I'm going to do the audit for free because you want to get in with them, and you want, that's perfectly fine. Or you can do a combination. Say, listen, I'm going to charge you the $300. You sign up for me, it comes off the setup. Okay, that's just another option. But that audit is very good. You can do that any way you like. You can do it online. You can do it, they can do a self-audit. I don't recommend a self-audit because, let me tell you something. I did an audit for a podiatrist. He has a full-time receptionist that he pays full-time, missing 45% of his calls after I pulled his call records. He's freaking out. He couldn't sign up quick enough. And that's what I want you to be in that kind of position. So the next thing after that audit is you're going to give them the findings and you're going to give them a proposal. All of this can be automated in GoHighLevel. They have the document feature. That's how we're set up. So you do the proposal. At that point, they're going to pay 50% down, whatever you decide. And then after it's complete, they pay their balance. You would be able, the system I'm going to show you today, you should be able to deploy that in 7 days, no questions asked. Okay? No questions asked. You'll be able to do it, like, listen, so it's kind of funny. If you go to the hardware store and you say, I gotta buy a new barbecue grill for 4th of July, I'm gonna have a big event at my house, I got all this company coming, and you pick up this barbecue grill and you get home and you notice there's no instructions in there to put this thing together, but you're gonna wing it anyway, because that's what guys do, right? So we're gonna put it together and it's a mess, I gotta take it apart, rebuild it, and now that thing takes you, 8 hours to put together. This system may do that. It may take you 8 hours or more, a few days the first time you do it. But the second time you do it, you'll do it in 4. This third time, you'll be doing it in 2. Okay? The other mistake I see is that people try to hire VAs before they're ready. All you're doing is increasing your costs. And number 2, the VA doesn't know. Like, you have to train them. They're a real employee. They're not mind readers. So I want to know exactly how to do this first. I'd be able to answer their questions, point them in the right direction. I want to know how to build the system, front to back. And then I'm going to slowly train that VA. And then what? I start getting more clients, and that VA can train the next one. That's how it works. Don't incur costs. People want to get into GoHighLevel and all of a sudden hire this team. That's really not how to do it. You're just increasing your costs, but you're not really increasing your output. All right, so think about that. So the next thing is you get the proposal, and then after that, we're done, and guess what? We've done surgery. We fixed their issue, and we send them a link to pay the balance, and they're happy, all right? We're going to guarantee that. We're going to say, listen, I'm going to have this deployed because they want to know this. The last thing you want them to do is sign up and be like, hey, it's a month later, where's my system? They want it done now. Once they sign that paperwork, they want it. So tell them, listen, I'm going to have this in 7 days deployed for you. If I don't, you don't pay until it's done. Maybe it goes 8 days because you had a bad day, but 8 days you're going to get paid. Okay? Don't let this go for months. You're going to lose that client. All right. So let's talk about these 5 pillars. These are 5 things in GoHighLevel that will make you money 100%. This is good for 99% of the businesses out there. Because if you think for a second, and I built an AI agent to do this, to go into my GoHighLevel and look at all the features and tell me how many features are in GoHighLevel. When I did that a few months ago, it was like 635 features. So if you think that somebody comes to you and says, hey, I know you're in this GoHighLevel thing, I want you to automate my business. I want all the features. Can you do that? And you say, yeah. You're in for a big problem. Because that's a lot of work and you'll never be finished. Because guess what? The next day after I looked at those 638, it was already 648. So you'll never be done. So, which is a good thing. I like it. These guys, they keep me on my toes, and they're releasing features that make my life easy every single day. But these are the 5 pillars that I like to utilize, and these work for everyone sitting in this room and every business you probably can come across. The first one we start out with is database reactivation. Robin talked about that on the stage a little while ago when he first started, but this is very powerful. I come across this all the time. I go into a business, or I speak to a business, and I say, oh, how are you guys getting customers? They're like, oh, we run ads. And then I asked them, like, well, how are you keeping in touch with these people? We don't have any way to do it. We don't do it. So I said, let me get this right. You're bringing in new customers. You ignore the old ones. So these people sign up with ads. You get them in. You ignore them. And then it's just a recycling factory of new customers. How about let's keep the ones you have, get them back. And then when you run ads, guess what happens? Their customer database gets bigger and they have more customers. That's what I like to see. All right, and that would be very good for every single business. But I will tell you, I was the worst at this because when I had my business, we didn't do this at all. We never followed up with our customers. But now it's so easy in GoHighLevel. It's one workflow with AI built in. I gave it to you in the assets, so you guys can do this very easily. You can deploy this within 1 hour. Okay. What we normally do is I ask the clients if they're in the U.S. and it doesn't matter where they're from. Give us your list. I like that to be categorized in 3 different buckets. I use a stoplight, like green, yellow, and red. Green means they're a current client and they're in great standing. I talk to them. Yellow means they're a great client, good standing, but I've lost touch of them. Maybe I haven't talked to them in a year. The needs would kind of determine that. Because maybe they don't need it to speak with them in a year, but maybe in some niches they have to talk to them every month. So that would be determined by the actual needs of the business. So, and then red, obviously, is, that you've totally lost touch with them and there's probably some type of issue. Maybe that business fired that owner because they didn't get along out of that review. Or maybe that business fired that customer because they didn't want to work with them. But that's the red bucket. Hopefully it's a small bucket, okay? But we still target every single one of these buckets because I've turned people that are in the red zone to the green zone. But a lot of people that do database reactivation, they throw them away to the curb. I don't do that. A lot of people in that red bucket, all they want is acknowledgement. They want you to say, hey, listen, I messed up. I really miss you guys. I want you to come back. Let's start over. And they'll come back, and guess what? They're your biggest supporter after it's all said and done. So that is database reactivation. One tip on that, don't send all of those out. If you get somebody with a 10,000 list and they give it to you, don't do that in one day. We're going to drip that, okay? And the reason we drip that is 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't want to overwhelm the business. But number 2, I don't want to have an instant influx and then nothing on week 2 or week 3 or week 4. Position yourself that you're getting them 5 new clients week 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And that's how I'm going. And then after that, you're going to put them in another automation, which is nurturing. That's how we're going to keep them engaged. Happy birthday, here's a coupon, however you decide to do it. But that's all automated in GoHighLevel. The next one is going to be reputation management. Now, I know a lot of people in here know about Google Business Profiles. They know all about that, okay? There's a lot of statistics around Google Business Profiles. A lot. In summary, the higher your rating, the more traffic Google sends to your site, right? We know that, right? The other thing is, on somebody that's leaving a review or looking to do business with you, if you respond to reviews, they're going to do business with you if you respond, negative or positive, to reviews. GoHighLevel automates that for you. Yes. And they retroactively automate that for you. One of the things that I come across in small businesses, a lot of small businesses are paying for this service already. So you're going to tell them, listen, you don't need this service. I'll take it in-house for you, and it's going to be amazing. And once you set it up, it's set it and forget it. Like, I haven't touched mine in 1.5 years, and I think it's on full autopilot. But there's a few features that I want to talk about that I'm not sure if everyone knows about. One of the things that I find very appealing is that you can brand this graphic that posts a 5-star graphic to all their social profiles automatically with the branding and their logo, and it gives a quote of the review and the person's first name. For every single one, it goes on all their social profiles automatically. You don't touch it. And then the number 2 one is that what about it goes to their website? So it puts a website widget and it's updating all day long, as long as they're getting reviews. And then you trigger these in a workflow, so if somebody pays an invoice for that customer, they're getting a review request, an SMS, or however you like to do it. So it's set on autopilot. It's so easy. This is another pillar that's easy to deploy. The next one that we're going to talk about is voice AI. Everyone loves voice AI, right? Everyone loves it. It's very powerful. It can do a lot of things. I enjoy working with it. It's one of my strong points. There's a lot of use cases. This is not a voicemail service. This is way beyond that. I've done voice agents that will tell you contaminants in your tap water at your spigot for people that are selling water softening systems. You can hook up a lot of these agents now to external APIs, bring in data, and utilize that data on the call, right? I've done tracking. You know, they want tracking. You know, maybe they did e-commerce, they want tracking, brought it on the call, Shopify, whatever. So there's a lot of use cases. I've also done, and I was mentioning this to somebody the day before yesterday, I've done private voice agents for businesses that may need it. So maybe they're an electrician. I've loaded the whole electrical code to a voice agent, only used internally for their technicians. And if they have a problem in a building, like, hey, they're working on this hotel, they want to know about the code on, like, hey, how high does this outlet need to be from the wall, or what size wire should I use? The technician calls that agent and says, hey, I'm in this building. It researches the code and tells them in 3 seconds exactly what's going on. So you can do things like that as well. We've done ordering, you know, pretty much everything on these agents. As far as voice agents, how many people out here are currently using the AI voice agent system in GoHighLevel? You need to check it out. It's a strong feature, and people really like it, okay? Because right off the get-go, you're increasing your call answering to 100%. You can answer 300 calls at once. And then basically on top of that, think about it. If that business is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., what about nights and weekends? You just increased their coverage by 66% right off the get-go. If you have somebody that, you know, is apprehensive, which it does happen, you know, they don't like AI, they're apprehensive, so I give them the choice. I'm like, would you rather not answer it and lose it, or would you want to let AI take a stab at it, and we can turn it on just when you don't answer? One switch. And then once they start getting comfortable, we flip the switch back because they love it. Okay? So think about that. So who in here has a business perhaps that it would be very beneficial to use a voice agent, or would like to use a voice agent? Anybody in here? A lot of people. What business are you in?
I have cleaning businesses.
Say it again?
Cleaning businesses.
Cleaning businesses, like house commercial, stuff like that? Okay, yeah, we built a few for that. Hey, listen, I mean, I can take a stab at it. I don't like to do live demos, but I'll give it a shot if everyone wants to hear one. I can show you a little bit on how the voice agent works. Yes? Like I said, I don't like to do live demos because you know how that goes. Let me see if I can find it. I have a lot of demos on my phone, so I'm always ready. So that's a good thing, because it's so funny. Like, I met my biggest client by accident. Literally by accident. Just happened to start a conversation. Turns out to be our largest client that we have. Okay? Number 2, personal injury firm in the US. Let me see what I can do here. All right, let's do it. I'm going to put it on speaker.
Thanks for calling GoHighLevel Cleaning. This is Sky. Are you looking to get it right? Ask a quick question, or are you ready to schedule a cleaning today?
I have a question. What type of services do you guys offer? I have a 1-bedroom house.
Totally. So we offer 3 main types of cleaning services. 1, the coastal clean. This is our standard service, perfect for a regular refresh. For a 1-bedroom, it's $180. 2, the deep clean. This is a deep clean where we tackle all the details, like baseboards and inside the oven. For a 1-bedroom, it's $180. 3, the fresh start. This is for empty homes, like if you're moving in or out. That starts at $475. We also have an add-on called Pure and Simple, where we use all natural, eco-friendly products for an extra $65. Does one of those sound like what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think I would like to do the deep cleaning one, where you do the oven, and then also with the add-on, because I like the eco-friendly products. Can you make me an appointment? I'd like to get started with that.
Awesome choice. The deep clean with the Pure and Simple add-on is such a great combo. Your place is going to feel so fresh and clean. Let's get you all set up. Okay, awesome. So to get you booked, I just need a little info. What's the best name for the appointment?
It's going to be mine.
Got it, Mike. Thanks. What's the full address for the cleaning, including the zip code?
It's 123 Main Street, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33412.
Perfect. So that's 123 Main Street, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33412, right?
Yes.
Great. And last thing, what's the best email or mobile number I can send the confirmation and details to?
It's mike@gmail.com, and it's 561-777-1234.
Got
Yes.
Perfect. Let me check the schedule real quick. Hang on just a sec. All right. Looks like we have an opening next Thursday, March 5th in the morning around 10 a.m. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm available.
Awesome. So I've got you down for Thursday, March 5th at 10 a.m. for the Deep Wave Computer Lab. You're all set to have your plate sparkling. Now, while we wrap this up, I want to mention on the Sunshine subscription. It's a monthly cleaning plan where you save 15% on every service. It's super popular with clients who want to keep their homes fresh year-round. Would you like to add that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and add it. All right, you get the idea. So, yeah. So a couple of things on that are very important when you're building these agents. Number one, that agent initial message when that agent answers the call. It's very important that you always have an open-ended question, meaning a question mark at the end, because otherwise it's a stalemate with the caller. No one knows who to talk next. The other thing I found very effective is that you give them 3 choices during that period, because that'll reduce your call time from 5 minutes down to 1.5 minutes to make an appointment. And that's kind of where I like to be, about 1.5 minutes. I don't want them on the call. I want an appointment booked and less chance of problems, the whole thing associated with that. So I always give them 3 questions and or 3 choices, because I give them 3 pathways in the prompt. You saw that, right? You want to know about cleaning, have a question, or make an appointment, whatever. So that's applicable for every single agent. So think about that. But these things are super easy to deploy. Once you've done it once, you can deploy this in a half an hour, maximum. All right. So the next thing, the next piece is conversational AI. I'm going to speak a little fast because we're going to be running out of time. Basically, conversational AI is huge. This is not just a chatbot on the website, right? Because I'm also going to utilize that to respond to their DMs and social posts and all of that, because everyone's quick to post, but they're very slow in responding. But those are misleads. That chatbot will do book appointments, do the same thing that voice agent did, but do it over text. Huge, all right? So the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is your database. That's going to be very quick to respond and to increase your leads, because they're sitting there. They already have trust in that company. So that's huge. Don't overlook that. The second one is 88% of customers are going to deal with people that respond to reviews and have a review system in place. We talked about AI receptionists, 100% of the calls. I'm going to rapid fire a few of these. All right. So basically, if you're going to be using omni-channel, meaning I'm hitting them from SMS, voice, all different ways, you have a 400% conversion times conversion rate, 400% success rate by doing omni-channel. All right, that's very huge. And then the last one is website. I know there's a lot of website guys in here. Integrated calendar, high level, if they have a great website, forms, list building, etc. These all are on the back end of their current site if their current site's in great shape. These are all done in high level. You do it once, you build a snapshot. I'll show you this right here. Is you're going to clone your success. You build your own snapshot, and you're developing. And that's a business in a box that people don't know what a snapshot is. I get that a lot. So you can deploy that instantly. All right. Here's your action plan. Everyone's in this room taking notes, but it's action time. So where people fall here is where they attend this, they have their notes, they go home, they put the notes in the drawer, and they don't take action. So I want to see action. All right. So I'm going to, if we have time for Q&A, I don't want to overstep my bounds here. Somebody can let me know.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do that in a second. I'll structure.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the assets now. So get your phone out. You're going to get a QR code. That's going to take you to the assets. Do not delete that drive link, because I tend to put stuff in there after these sessions. Because if I come up with a crazy idea and I want you to have it, that's the best way for me to get it to you, right? So you can check that drive link, and sometimes I'll send out an email. Okay? Say, hey, check this out. I don't abandon you after today. Okay? We're kind of like, we're married. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna bring this link up. I did a short video that I'd really like to show you. This is us arriving in Delhi, and the first day here in the city. And I wanted to show you it and get your take on it and see what you think. Let's see if this is going to go.
You did it?
You guys hit play over there? There it goes. Nope. Did somebody hit play over there?
And Michael, just so you know, we have all the assets, the
I think they got it. Somebody's got a mask on. So just click on that play button. There we go. There we go. All right, you're going to get the assets at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy. It's only about 30 seconds. But
I've spoken at a lot of events, but the moment I heard about this one, I knew it was special. It started with a 16-hour flight to a place I've always dreamed of returning, Delhi. The energy hits you the second you step outside. It's electric. You can't just see it, you have to dive in head first. The markets are a total sensory overload in the best way possible. The colors, the sounds, the smells, it's everything. All at once. You find beauty in the most unexpected corners.